Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ken and I'm coming live from our home in East Africa, Kenya. And the weather hasn't really changed that much since we last spoke. And I think this period is, we are at the peak. I'd say we are at the peak of the sunny period. So it has really forced us because, before that there was enough food for the cattle. But since it hasn't rained for almost 2 weeks, it has only drizzled once, but for a very short time. So earlier in the morning, we brought some fodder for these cows, and they are still eating. They were with the sheep, but it seems the sheep are already full. So I think they like grass because this one is napier grass. Usually the best when there is usually a prolonged period of sun. You can supplement them with some napier grass, and also give them just enough water and they'll be okay. So the young guy, because they are like 4 cows, if we add the guy that was the new guy, now they'll be the 5th. No, for these ones are females, all of them except for the little girl. So I think I don't know how or when it will end, but for the time being we're gonna give them fodder just for them to have enough to eat, because if you let them now eat this dry grass you're seeing in the compound, it's a little bit dry, they won't be full. So yesterday, because for the guys that have been following on with the channel, yesterday I went to look up for some planting bags, or you might as well call them pot bags. Yes, so they're the ones used for planting. You can plant any, whether it's a tree or a fruit or a flower. So I was so surprised, because for me, I knew I was just going to the shop and get them, then come back. But I was so surprised to find out that they are not available. So first I went to the agrovet, because agrovets tend to have such like things, and the guy told me they don't have. So he directed me to one of the shops, actually one of the supermarkets around, but I never went there. So I went straight, because there's usually some people on the roadsides that sell trees as well as flowers. So I decided to go to them to ask for them, because they usually use them. So the guy told me that they are very limited, they can't really be found, because there was a video I said our home to Nairobi is like 4,000 kilometers, but I meant 400 kilometers. And our next city, because actually Nairobi is the capital, our next city is in Kisumu. So the guy told me the planting bags are not available in Kisumu, anywhere around. So for them, they order from Nairobi, then that's how they get it. So it's good I took he gave me his number. So the next time I'll go I will have communicated prior to that, so that we'll go and just pick the bags. So let me show you the seed bed. It's a little bit sunny on this side. It's 9 in the morning. The sun is already so strong. So the seed bed is just next over here, and we've been just watering them, also because of there's no rain, so you have to water. So because of that, this is our seed bed. So because of that, I placed this sawdust you are seeing on top, so that to hold at least water throughout the day. So these are the whistling pine trees. They're a little bit small. The one you are seeing, with broad leaves, is the eucalyptus. So I planted I placed the pine trees seeds on the seed bed. Then on top of the seed bed I used the eucalyptus leaves which had seeds. So those are the ones I placed for shade. So as they dried, the eucalyptus seeds you are seeing, like this one, fell on the seed bed. So that's why you are seeing we have so many pine trees with a little bit of eucalyptus. You see, like this one, that's the broadleaf, that's the eucalyptus. So they are a little bit grown. See how they are grown, a little bit grown compared to the last time I came here. So I've been looking for the bugs, because I even went to that place, because the guy sells flowers and also trees. I saw some very small trees that he had already placed in the planting bags. So that even made me so happy to see, because the trees are so many. So if I start removing them while they are still young, I'll have enough time. And also they'll by the time they are grown, they will adapt with the bag. Because if I remove them now, let me say I'll remove them 2 weeks from now or 3, yeah, when it's really raining. Yeah, I know they will be still so small, because they grow very slowly. The tree grows, it's a hardwood. So I'm planning to get the bags and start planting them as early as possible while they are still young. The sawdust has really helped, because if I water it, if I give them water, the sawdust will hold the water and release the water slowly into the soil throughout the day. And also it has really improved the moisture. And I've seen some positive results. Yeah, so we are gonna leave them. I've also planted, this is a jacaranda tree, just like the ones in the compound. Yeah, so I've planted 2 of them and 1 gravelia tree. So the bags, because I was asking for the size, the guy told me I was going for the biggest size, but the guy told me it's not really a must, because I told him the height to which I wanted the trees. So he gave me an idea of the size, which is, it's called a 6-9 bag. So that's the one I'll go for. Yeah, I really appreciated his help, because you know, if you go to a place where someone sells trees, usually thinks you are a customer, you're going to buy. But I went there on a different case and even helped. So he was so supportive. Yeah, so the bags, maybe someone is wondering why I'm looking for the bags. Actually a month ago, I prepared some compost soil. So if I get the bags, I'll start mixing up the compost and putting them on the bags, because the trees are a lot. So I want to start early, such that when the rains come, I will have the bags and also prepare the soil. Yeah, so currently I'm just looking for a place where we'll be placing them, so that they don't have direct sunshine and also not direct raindrops. Yeah, so I'm looking for a shade, probably under a tree. And yeah, and I also, I was having an idea, because back then I mentioned that because the trees are so many, probably I should sell just a few of them, just also to reward me for the effort. Yeah, so I think when I'll already bought the bags and already placed them in the bags, I think I'll go to the guy, or even anyone that sells trees, and sell them. Maybe if I will sell maybe 50 to 100 of them, and maybe if I sell each at a dollar. That will be very fair, because they are really good trees. They are meant for timber, and they usually take time to grow. So if you have them, the better. So if I sell one at a dollar and I sell 50 of them, that's a very good money that maybe can do something. So I think also time will tell, but that was also part of the plan. I'm selling them, just a part of them. The trees are so many, so many. I still don't know the number, but when we'll be transplanting them, we'll know. Yeah, so it's very, I started the video in the morning because it's a little bit cool. Now the last time while we were making the window, it was so sunny, so hot. It was around past midday, around 3. So today I started the video early in the morning. It's a little bit cool compared to the most part of the day. Yeah, and actually very around 4 a.m. it's usually very cold, but during the day very hot, and it doesn't rain. So the last time we came, the last time we spoke, we were making this window. It has already dried. We've been just curing it just a little bit, just to keep it, make it dry so well, because you know when you're building, it's usually advisable to cure as you build. Yeah, if it's it also depends with the ratio, but usually ratio of sand and cement, but it's usually advisable to mix, to as in not to really mix but to cure, because you know this cement is different from the one because currently we are constructing our rural road, our village road. So I think this cement is totally different from the one they're using, because currently they're only putting the last layer, because where they started the construction, they've already started pouring the tarmac. So right now they are in front of our home, because the road just cuts across our home, separates the two land, because the lower part we usually put farms, maybe you can put a space for grazing, then this upper part is now the residential. So now they are putting cement, and the cement that they are putting on the road is totally different from this one, because that cement is so strong, and actually they like putting it during the dry season because they don't want the rains to interfere with the construction. So for them, I doubt if they need water that so much, except for the dust. So they put water when it's so dusty. But for us, the cement we're using is usually the normal one for building, and it needs curing once maybe for a week. It's after construction. So you are probably hearing some engine. It's so sunny. So let's go and check out where they've reached so far, because if now the engines are what sound engines produce. It means if the engines are making that loud sound, it means it's gonna be very noisy. Yeah. So I'm seeing they've added the last layer. Yeah, so probably in like 3 weeks, or by the middle of March, we will be having a very nice tarmac road over here. So this is the last gravel they are placing. It's so dusty, very dusty. So I mentioned earlier, if it's so dusty like this, they just pour water on the road. Very dusty. So dusty. This situation is gonna be different in the next 3 weeks, because I must come here and show you. that truck is one of the trucks that transport the over here we call them maram, but it's gravel. Yeah, so they're very big trucks, very with very big engines, and obviously makes a lot of noise. Yeah, so I think once they I talked with one of the guys, and he told me by the end of the week, let me say by next week, by the end of next week, they'll be already done, because placing tarmac is like some 3-4 days. The stretch is not that long. I think it's a 2-kilometer road, because the government put the road from the to every nearest high school. So the high school that I mentioned in my previous video is just up on the shops. So they were supposed to place the road till that high school, but because the main contractor that is currently doing the road bought land just next to our place, just is our neighbor actually, so he decided to stretch the road past his place, just some few meters past his place. So the tarmac road cutting in front of our home shouldn't be there. It's only there because of that guy, because he's planning to build his home. So probably in the next few years he's gonna be our neighbor. Yeah, it's so interesting to see that, at least, because if it wasn't for him, in front of our home could have been a maram road, which could have been very dusty, just like the previous years. But I'm so happy he has stretched, he has extended. So let's say, because if the high school is 2 kilometers, maybe it's 2 kilometers and some miles. Yeah, so I'll go over there once they are done. I'll be very happy to show you our tarmac road. Probably I'll be one of the, because I'm also planning when they are done, I'll be almost 60% done with the motorbike. Yeah, because having a nice road in the village, and you're also having a motorbike, I think you'll be the happiest, or even a car, or even you're a member of that village. Yeah, so I think as the day goes, we'll know. It's very early in the morning. Our calves over here are still eating. They're always eating very slowly. Very slowly. Yeah. And one thing I've noticed, flies love their eyes. I don't know why. I don't know, they suck in the tears from the cow's eye. I don't know, but yeah. So let them eat. Lacking the planting bags made me realize that that one is a very good niche. Maybe if you're looking into something to go into, because if there are no planting bags in our area, people order it from Nairobi. It means if you bring it close, you would have been in business. Yeah, so for the past actually we've been removing the debris from the house, because as you build, there are usually a lot of debris that fall in the house and also outside. The good thing is the ones on the outside we had already removed, and we are currently removing one inside the house, and these are the debris that we've been removing and pouring them just in front of the gate, because you know this part usually erodes, especially during the rainy season. Yeah, so, and also we kinda want to make it so flat and maybe plant some grass on it. Yeah, so we are slowly by slowly, because if you leave the debris there for a while, they'll pile up. Yeah. So let us check and see. So I think the only part remaining is the living room, because all these parts are clean. That and have already been removed. It's a little bit dark, these parts, except for this one or two, which can be easily thrown outside. Also this one is perfectly clean. Yeah. Now the good thing is you are working under shade because of the roof, and I think if you do that, you don't usually get tired faster. But if you work in direct sunlight, you easily get tired. So it looks like we are only remaining with the living room. These other rooms have already been cleared. Yeah. So these are just preparations for plastering, because also as well, when the guys come for plastering, they would like a very clean house or clean rooms with not very big debris like this one. These ones are bricks. Yeah, these ones can be easily thrown outside. We are almost done with the clearance of the rooms, because we were removing the debris that fall whenever you build. And you know, especially for us, we were putting on the door frames for the inner doors, so we had to demolish the bricks. So those are the materials we are getting out. And I think the ones that maybe are remaining are maybe stones that were also removed a little bit, but for the major part we are done. You know, it's usually better when you're doing these types of works, especially now when the temperatures are so high. It's about midday, so when you're doing such work, you start early in the morning when it's still cold, and end it almost some maybe 2 hours before midday, or even 3, depending on how hot it is. But it's so hot, and at least the rooms are clear, and it's workable. Someone can continue with whatever he or she is doing. Yeah. So the only part that was remaining was the living room area, but it's already done. Yeah, I'm feeling the temperature inside the house is, at least it's a little bit cool. because I was also doubting we've not placed the ceiling board. Maybe the heat could have been just inside the house, but the heat is not there. I think because also of the windows. No, we placed very huge windows. Yeah. So this one is for cooling and also for light. But I'm glad we are done. So probably because we are supposed to do plastering next. So probably we'll start with the living room area. It's a little bit low. We are supposed to raise it high. We placed it low because it gave us an option on which level to put it. So we are just gonna raise it just a little bit. Can have a glimpse to see how it is. So we'll raise it. We have some few ballast and sand. So before we do even the walls, I think we are gonna do the living room area. You know, it's very low. Not really that low, it's just 2 courses low. So we are gonna fill 1 course, then only left with 1 course. Then the 1 course we are gonna place just 1 staircase, because it's 1, I don't know the name, so it's only 1, then the floor. So yeah, so we don't want it very low. So I think the first thing is just to do the living room and raise it. No, the way it is now, when it rains, it's usually wet. Not really wet, but the warmth rises up. So sometimes you find grass growing. That was the case before we did the roofing. So I think we'll also know, I think because we've done the roofing, there's no plant that can grow, even if it's grass. So I think also that we'll see. The rains are almost starting, so I guess we'll know. But all in all, we are done. The only materials remaining are these stones, which are supposed to be placed just near the house, because we are also planning to fill those places all around the house. Yeah, and also the wall plate. It's a good thing we also have bricks. Yeah. So I heard they were talking about screeding. I don't know what screeding is, but they mentioned it while they were doing the doors and the windows. So the parts that you saw us putting on the concrete, they're supposed to do screeding. So maybe screeding is smoothing it or aligning it. So for example, this part, yeah. So this is the frame attached to the wall. So I think screeding is now aligning this part and smoothing it, straightening it, because it's supposed to be painted. And because the theme is either white or maroon, one of the 2 colors will be painted on this part. Same to the windows on the side, and also not this lower part, because you're supposed to put some window sills here along this part for the windows. So let me just lock this door. No, because it's so sunny. If you leave it like this without closing, you'll find maybe a sheep has entered because of this heat. So these are our chicks. Those ones we are giving some feed some few weeks ago. Now they are really grown. Yeah. So usually we leave them over here. I'm seeing we have some timber. These are the side beams that we use. Our neighbor is currently building a gazebo. Is it gazebo or something? So we lended some to her. So she returned them. That's why I think you're seeing them lying down over here. But they should be somewhere there. So let me give our chicks some feeds. Then we leave them to eat. So there, I also leave some water. You know, it's so sunny outside. It's so sunny outside. You have to also give them some food, a little bit, because it's so dry outside. And also, I usually leave them with water. Just a little. I think I'm gonna add them quickly. I'm gonna add them some water, because when you give them grains or flour, they tend to drink a lot. And so now they are really grown. Yeah, so I think we are supposed to return this back. They are so afraid. Yeah, so we were looking for something, we haven't found it, because it's so dusty. We were looking for the googles that we always give our Amazons while they are working, especially when they are working facing up, because concrete usually fall on their eyes. So we wanted to use that for the dust. My cousin wanted some. I think because the store was cleaned and rearranged, they were packed somewhere else. Yes, so it's so hot, very hot. By now, if you're doing something outside, you're a very tolerant to sunshine or to the heat. Yeah, so let me get some water, go give the chicks a small bottle, then we see. It's so hot. Even our free, we keep free ranging chickens, so they always just feed within the compound, but because it's so hot, there's nothing to eat outside. So even for them, it's like you have to give them some grains, especially in the morning. You see, they are now drinking water meant for the cattle, so I'm gonna give them a very cold water. This water is very cold, so I'm gonna give them this, just a little bit, because I know it's very cold. Usually once you pour, then they'll come at their own time and drink, because we keep this door a little bit open, because also if you leave it very widely open like that, the sheep come and eat all the grains, because so sheep always like grains, especially maize. Yeah, so it's very calm. I think this type of climate, usually people rest. Some people bathe in beaches, some people be at the pool. Yeah, but over here in the villages, I think if you construct a pool at home, and you should be carefully looking after it, because if you put it in some places, because our fences are mainly vegetations, if you put pools in certain places inside the compound, you might be prone to things like snakes coming just to drink water, especially this time of the year, and also mosquitoes during the rainy season. So I don't know how you guys do away with mosquitoes, especially mosquitoes, because for them, once you give them a breeding place, you are like welcoming them. But I think this type of weather really needs someone in the pool just resting, or you swim very early in the morning when it's very cold. Yeah, something like that. But all in all, the grass is a little bit turning white. You can look, if you see, you can see some The grass is almost turning white. It's so hot. So I think I'm gonna end my video for today. I've saved myself this water because I've just got it from the refrigerator. It's very cold at my grandma. So I think I'm gonna end my video, and just hope it rains maybe in the coming few weeks, or even better days. Yeah, because it will be so great. A reduction in temperature is what we pray for. So for my returning viewers, wherever you are, just take care of yourself. You guys are so amazing, and let's meet in my next video. Bye bye.